Hi, welcome to the Secular Day of the Dead 2022, El Día de los Muertos. I'm Memo Benumea, and I'm one of the board members for this event. Again, bienvenidos. I was invited to talk about the cultural appropriation specifically related to the Day of the Dead. And I did a small keynote that I called Día de los Muertos, Cultural Appropriation as a Life and Death Matter. Here is the thing. The term cultural appropriation is relatively new, and although it's already well understood in the United States, in Latin America it's a very foreign concept. So, very quickly, let me define cultural appropriation. ¿Qué diablos es cultural appropriation? Well, a very clear example is this image. It's a Native American young woman who is in a football stadium surrounded by fans of a team wearing headdresses as a costume. And it could be that those headdresses may be the most important honor that her tribe confers. And she sits there in silence, suffering because she's watching her culture reduced to a costume just for fun. That is what we're trying to avoid. We want to steer clear of cultural appropriation and make it cultural appreciation. That is our goal. And it might come down to three factors. One, what is the specific thing that you want to appreciate? Have you sought to understand it? Two, why? What is your intent of using it? Is it just for fun, or do you want to give it a deeper meaning? And three, did you reach out to people from that culture and make sure that they are okay with the way that you are using it? So, in the Day of the Dead, let's start with the what. En el Día de los Muertos, everything has a symbolism. The marigolds, or cempasúchil, with their golden color, they guide the death. The food is what the loved one liked in life. The skulls represent them and represent us, the inevitability of death as part of life. Mictecacihuatl, Lady Micte, herself is really not a scary lady. She is the lady of Mictlán, the land of the dead. And again, she's not a bad entity. She just rules the land of the dead with her husband, Mictlanteculi, Lord of Mictlán. Right? In the original mythology, she presides the festivities of death. And with that, that's the ultimate celebration of life. You could say that the Day of the Dead actually has been appropriated multiple times already. Aztecs themselves might have appropriated it from other cultures. Then the Catholic Church, they appropriate everything and they change the dates to make it fit with the All Saints Day and All Souls Day from their calendar. And then contemporary Mexicans may appropriate it again, right? But let me tell you something about Mexicans. We do like to import traditions, even our own traditions. And I actually have an example of something that I like to call reverse cultural appropriation. So let me tell you about the wonderful, immemorial Day of the Day parade in Mexico City. An old parade, an old tradition that spans many, many years. And, thanks to accurate book record keeping, we know exactly how old it is. Because this ancestral parade began in the early 21st century, in the year of 2016. The natives of the new Tenochtitlan, or Mexico City, tell the tale of a living God who came down to Mexico City just 1 year before, in 2015. You may know him as Daniel Craig, or you may also know him as James Bond. This is not a joke. Well, maybe the part of Daniel Craig being a god, but that really depends on how you define God. But the part of the parade is really true. You see, in the movie Spectre, James Bond runs across a Day of the Dead parade in Mexico City. But that parade never existed before. It was just created for the movie itself. It had never happened in Mexico City. But Mexicans went to watch the movie and they thought, hmm, that is really cool. Why don't we do this? And so in 2016, we held our first Day of the Day parade in Mexico City. 250,000 people. Total success. So it was repeated again and again and again. By 2019, 2 million Mexicans gathered to celebrate the Day of the Day parade in Mexico City. It's like we say, thanks, Hollywood. This is really cool. We'll take it from here. So let me tell you about a personal example. Cinco de Mayo. One Cinco de Mayo, I went to have dinner with some friends. I was in New York City, and we went to a restaurant in Manhattan. And the owner of the restaurant was having a Cinco de Mayo party uh, in the middle of Manhattan. There were not many Mexicans in there. So we came in, and he sees me, and he says, "Hey, you're the first Mexican to come to our Cinco de Mayo party." And he's like, "Well, yeah, because we Mexicans don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That is not a thing." And whatever he says, let me give you some guacamole. It's on the house. And okay, because I'm Mexican, I'm supposed to like guacamole? I could have taken offense, but I actually took the guacamole. It was delicious. And the thing is that the guy was trying to connect for commercial reasons, very badly. But you could see the intent to reaching out was there. Come back. So let me give you one more example. Uh, you might recognize this one here. That is, or it's actually this one. That is actually happened in the uh, secular Day of the Dead, uh, 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? They gave us cardboards that we color and we wear our masks. And my girl, you can see her, she has her face painted, right? They were doing face paint. But let me be clear, those are not Mexican traditions. We don't do that, right? We, I was in a Day of the Dead every year in my elementary school, and we never did cardboards, and we never put them as masks, and we never painted our faces. That's not what we do. But I thought, just as those Mexicans in Mexico City, I thought, hey, this is really cool. Why don't we do this? And guess what? Now, as today, I have used that same half day, half alive makeup multiple years because it's really cool and it has a beautiful symbolism. But again, this is not something that I learned in Mexico. This is something that I learned in San Diego with Victoria. And just as the Day of the Day parade, I'm telling you, Victoria, thank you. This is really cool. And I'll take it from here. So let's appreciate the Day of the Dead. What pieces? All of it. Please grab all of it. Why? Because we have colorful altars, right? We honor our loved ones with the altars. We have sweet alfeñiques. We have papel picado that adds color to the room. We have delicious pan de muerto. Makeup, eh, we really don't have that, but if you like it, yeah, let's wear it. It's actually really cool. Costumes, please wear them. In Mexico City, they started wearing them in 2016. Why not us, right? And calaveritas, those are really cool, and we will talk about those a little bit in this event. But let's talk about why. Why are we doing this? Well, our intent is to connect between us, to connect with secular people, to connect between two nations or more nations, if you count all of Latin America, to connect between the living and the dead or loved ones who have already passed away. So, to whom are you going to reach? Well, to all of us. And this is the thing, the Day of the Dead shouldn't be a Mexican holiday. It shouldn't even be a Latin American holiday. It should be a holiday for all humanity because we are all connected through life and death. So, El Día de los Muertos is a colorful holiday that can inspire others around the world. Let's celebrar el Día de los Muertos. Thank you.